What's up, everybody? I'm Jake Wittenberg. Welcome to Jake's Take, the show where we break down the top 5 popular stories of the week. A segment that really doesn't care about the royal wedding at all. But I'm starting to work on my English accent a little bit like that. It's like cheerio. It's actually scary. First up, guys, huge news in Seattle. This idea of an employee hours tax, otherwise known as the head tax in Seattle. It's giving people a headache in this town. Whether big businesses should be taxed more for all the employees they have. It's kind of a direct target to Amazon, which is owning this town right now. All the tax money would go to assist the homeless crisis and affordable housing, which is a serious problem too. Amazon actually stopped developing another big tower until they get an answer from the council. But more than 100 of the biggest businesses out here signed a letter opposing the tax. Every council meeting so far has been packed in recent days. So there are enough council votes to make it pass, but Mayor Durkin made a backroom deal with Amazon and is now working out a compromise, basically cutting the tax in half. This is putting Seattle at a serious crossroads when it comes to our future. Yes, the homeless crisis is way out of control. We've got to do something about affordable housing. People are getting priced out of the city. It's a city for the rich. But at some point, the people of Seattle need to understand where the city is, where we are. That Amazon move sends a real message that these big tech companies can really live anywhere. Here's an idea. Add to the property taxes. You have to be rich to buy a home anyway, so the rich can afford it and you can tax the rich. Seattle homeowners have had no problems upping their property tax. And in some cases, it feels like Seattle is trying to become the next Detroit. You want businesses to move and have a bunch of empty buildings downtown. On the other hand, it would be way easier to drive around town without so much traffic. I don't know. It's a tough crossroads. Bottom line is you got to do something about the homeless problem too. And to another story this week that has more holes than... The former Puyallup nurse arrested for purposely infecting patients with her hepatitis C is now speaking out. In a tearful statement with her attorney at her side, Cora Weberg says she never would intentionally do anything like that. Oh, and she claims she doesn't even have hep C. How does that happen? Oh, by the way, she was arrested at the Canadian border trying to leave the U.S. Still, though, we haven't heard from the hospital with a good explanation about this case against her. Like I said, some pretty big holes. Also, can I just point out one thing? Who still wears their glasses on their forehead like that? I've got to think we're going to hear more about this story very soon. Also this week, we head to the beautiful community of Anacortes, where a little girl had a broken arm at her school that was literally dangling from her body, but the school still didn't feel the need to call 911. Look at the x-ray. The bone is snapped in half. 10-year-old Olivia Jacobson fell on the playground and went to the nurse's office where there was no nurse, and she sat alone for 15 minutes until her mom arrived.
It feels like you're alone. No one's on your side.
You've got to feel for that girl. The district says they were just following policy, but her mom, Megan, wants to change all that. I get that the newest generation of kids could be a little tougher, but why does this little girl have to suffer? All right, this next story is kind of odd. A lot of you clicking it, though. Jody Urich Syed said her son was pinched in the rear end by his English teacher at Napavine High School back in March. She's just now coming forward after one of her son's friends told her what happened. Syed said that the district superintendent told her the teacher admitted to doing this and is now on leave pending an investigation. But the community is rallying around this teacher on a Friends of Peggy Irvin Facebook page. I admit, this is another he said, she said incident. And where other than Urban Dictionary would you ever read someone was pinched in the Napavine? And finally, this week, we've got some amazing new pictures that have a lot of you clicking. Never before seen photos from the Mount St. Helens eruption back in 1980. A friend of photographer Peggy Short-Nottage's family recently found these in an old box, and she's sharing them ahead of the 38th anniversary of the blast. It's still the deadliest eruption in U.S. history. Instead of driving toward the eruption, Nottage took pictures from a plane. Amazing, but always eerie to see these kinds of pictures. 57 people died in that blast. It's a reminder that it's still an active volcano, and I could literally see it from where we're sitting right now. All right, that does it for me this week, you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for liking and subscribing. Soak up the weekend, my friends. Work hard, play hard. We'll see you on Monday. Another quick reminder, you guys, tons of content on the YouTube channel here. Click here to subscribe. Also, my latest Jake's Take up here, and another great video here on the King 5 YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to my own personal YouTube channel, Jake Wittenberg. We'll see you Monday.